The cleanup is underway after a tornado in Tishomingo County. We'll have that story coming up on WCBI News.
WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Folks in Tishomingo County are cleaning up after an EF1 tornado tears through the area Tuesday evening. WCBI's Allie Martin has more from some of those impacted by the twister and how they're counting their blessings and helping each other.
Jeff Daniel runs the garage and auto repair shop his dad started nearly 50 years ago.
My daddy built this business in 1970 when he got back out of the service. Took it over in 94, been here ever since.
But within seconds, it was all destroyed as the tornado moved along Highway 30.
Mother and Daddy's house took a very, very hard hit. My garage, it's a total loss. But I mean, we thank the good Lord we walked out.
On Wednesday, Daniel was busy salvaging what he could from his garage and his family farm. In Tishomingo, the cleanup was underway. The town's Dollar General took a direct hit. However, all employees left the store and locked up when warning sirens were activated. Employees huddled in a storm shelter a few blocks away. The store donated some items like dog food, water, and snacks to nearby Gospel Lighthouse Pentecostal Church. A carport's roof near the church's playground was ripped off and covered the sanctuary's front doors. The church's pastor says there has been no shortage of help.
There's been people walking up like any small town, people we don't even know, asking if they could help. And you just see the greatness and people coming out every minute that passes.
As homeowners, businesses, and churches wait to hear from insurance adjusters, neighbors will continue helping neighbors in Tishomingo County. Everyone we spoke with is thankful that no one was seriously injured or killed, and everyone says they'll rebuild. Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Now, people are being asked to avoid unnecessary travel in Tishomingo County around those damaged areas. The extra traffic hampers first responders and, of course, those all-important cleanup efforts.
And here's a detailed track of that tornado. It really started to ramp on up right there at the Tenton Waterway. Of course, moved through Tishomingo and then moved over here just along and north of the Natchez Trace Parkway. As Joey mentioned, rated EF1, winds up to 110 miles per hour. The track here in Tishomingo County, 8.8 miles. It continued into Alabama, also likely an EF1, but the National Weather Service in Huntsville is still sorting through some of that data. But suffice to say, an intense event 24 hours ago. Right now, look at all that sunshine here with our Alpha Insurance Camera Network. We've got some 60s, we've got some 70s. Temperatures will cool down into the 50s by 11 o'clock here. We'll be down to around 50 tonight and then up to 86 tomorrow. Warm and a bit breezy out there. A little taste of summer in late March. Joey, your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Aberdeen voters will have to wait almost an extra month before they'll go to the polls. Our Cash Matlock was at the city's special called meeting earlier today and has more on how and why the Board of Aldermen came to this decision.
The Aberdeen Board of Aldermen called a special meeting to discuss the possibility of delaying the city election in response to the continued spread of COVID-19.
It was a difficult, stressful, grievous decision that we have come up against here.
City leaders say the special meeting was held after several members of the community expressed their concern about the upcoming election.
We're supposed to have training tomorrow for our poll workers, so a lot of them are calling and saying, you know, we don't feel safe in coming.
Area churches, as well as members of the NAACP, also voiced their opinion on the matter, asking city leaders to take public safety into account. According to Mississippi Executive Order 1463, during a state of emergency, city officials have the power to postpone an election, which is exactly what was decided.
The highlights of this ordinance are that for the next 28 days, from April 7 to May 5th, I believe, that the election will be postponed during that time frame.
Mayor Maurice Howard attended the meeting via speakerphone. He opposed the ordinance and suggested several of the aldermen were trying to remain in power for as long as they could.
Now, we are not postponing election for political reasons. Absolutely not. My motives are the safety of our citizens and our poll workers.
It's no secret that the majority of poll workers fall into the age range that's most susceptible to COVID-19. That's why the city is looking at alternative ways of training their volunteers.
The governor has decided only 10 people, so we would have to break the training up to 3 different training sessions, which, I mean, you know, hey, we can do that.
Ward 2 Alderman Doug Stone says there's a chance things will be postponed even further.
We will monitor the curve of the virus during that time. And if all of a sudden we have an increase in the city of Aberdeen and all the stuff that we hope doesn't happen, it's possible that we might look at it again. If this curve levels out and things quiet down, we are moving forward.
Reporting in Aberdeen, Cash Matlock, WCBI News.
Now, the primary elections set for April 7th will now be held on May 5th, followed by runoff elections on May 19th if necessary. The general election is rescheduled for June 2nd. Well, Columbus police write a ticket to a fast food restaurant for serving food in its lobby. Police Chief Fred Shelton says officers wrote a ticket at Church's Chicken on Tuesday after receiving reports of people going inside the restaurant, which is right across the street from the police station. Shelton says this is the first business cited for serving food inside the business. By order from the governor and city council, restaurants must serve food in the drive-through, curbside pickup, or delivery. A Webster County man is the latest victim of the COVID-19 in Mississippi. Late today, the Mississippi Department of Health reported his death. It is the 3rd confirmed death of COVID-19 in Mississippi. The victim was between the age of 65 and 70. The health department reports he had underlying health conditions. He died while being hospitalized, but the state is not confirming the hospital. Earlier today, the health department reported the death of a 60 to 65-year-old man from Holmes County. He, too, was hospitalized with underlying health conditions. In addition to 2 northeast Mississippi counties are reporting their first cases of coronavirus today. The Mississippi Department of Health reporting 1 case of coronavirus in Calhoun and Prentiss County each. Lee County is now up to 14 cases. Oktibbeha has 7. Choctaw and Winston County are reporting 3 cases each, and Montgomery now has 4 cases. The state's total number of coronavirus cases stands at 377. The Department of Health says over 1,900 people have been tested for the virus. There is no confirmation on how many tests are outstanding. Pickens County, Alabama reports its first case of COVID-19. In all, Alabama has 283 coronavirus cases. The new numbers were released this morning. Lamar County still only has 1 case. Jefferson County, which is where Birmingham is located, has 99 of the state's cases. Tuscaloosa County has 10. Medical professionals all over the world are working tirelessly to treat coronavirus patients while also trying to stop its spread. Our Quentin Smith speaks with a doctor at Baptist Golden Triangle Hospital who's treated multiple patients just this week who tested positive for the virus. He joins us live with more on what doctors are doing to deal with the pandemic.
Yeah, Joey, treating 2 patients in a span of 3 days shows just how quickly the coronavirus can spread. This outbreak is now shining a light on medical professionals as they try to treat patients and also avoid getting the disease themselves.
Hey, I'm Dr. Scott. What's going on today?
Seeing sick patients is nothing new for Dr. Clifton Scott, but what is new is the illness 2 of his recent patients have now contracted.
I'd been off for a week, I guess, when a lot of the corona stuff's been going on, and came back on Monday, and my first 2 patients that I saw were corona patients, corona positive patients.
Scott says both were sick when they came in, showing obvious signs of COVID-19 symptoms.
They'd actually been tested previously in the week prior, so they came back with shortness of breath, fever still, dehydration, It was a very much a flu-like picture if we didn't know that corona was there.
Due to the rapid spread of the virus, Scott says he knew it was only a matter of time before a COVID-19 patient came into the hospital. Once the results came back, doctors immediately began treatment.
One was requiring oxygen, a fairly young guy, and I think that's one thing that people need to know is that, we've talked about this being mainly a 60 to 80 age group range that we're dealing with, but these are some young people that we're dealing with as well that have COVID.
To protect themselves, doctors at Baptist are putting on gowns, gloves, and face masks whenever they're dealing with patients.
The fear of taking it home with you or passing it to somebody else, and we really don't know completely what droplet amount you have to get on you, or so there's a fear involved in seeing them, but we deal with it all the time.
In light of the coronavirus outbreak and dealing with patients on a regular basis, Scott says he's isolating himself from his wife and kids at home. Outside of the hospital are signs that read, "Heroes work here," to honor and thank the medical staff at Baptist for all of their hard work. Scott says he appreciates the kind gesture, but he also knows they can't take all of the credit.
Any community that's self-quarantining and doing the isolation and doing what we're asking them to do, they're all the heroes in this, because it takes all of us to control this right now.
Now, if anyone is experiencing any symptoms related to the coronavirus, you're encouraged not to show up here to Baptist, but instead call the hospital first. You'll go through a screening process, and they'll let you know whether or not you need to come in. We'll have the number for you on our website at WCBI.com. But for now, reporting live in Columbus, Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
Area Power Company is looking at new connections. We look at how they're reaching out when we come back.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Joey Barnes.
Port County Electric customers, your power company wants to hear from you. You'll soon be getting a survey in the mail regarding internet service. State lawmakers voted last year to allow electric cooperatives the choice to offer internet service to customers. The survey is one way Port County is working to see if internet access is something customers would be interested in.
We just want to make sure that everybody's comfortable. It's a non-binding survey. It's just another tool that we're using to try to, help us make our decision of broadband. We know how important broadband is to the area. We're just moving it at a pace that we're comfortable with because it is such a huge decision and affects so many of our members and does cost quite a bit of money.
The deadline to return the survey is April 24th. Reliable high-speed internet is becoming a near necessity and an unexpected part of many people's lives. Church. Due to the coronavirus, gatherings are now limited to no more than 10 people. That includes Sunday morning worship. Many churches are now relying on online streaming services. Some churches have been doing it for a while now, but for others, the transition has been a little bumpy.
What we're doing, we're using Facebook, we're using live streaming, and of course we're using teleconferencing to stay in contact with the members of our church. We're also reaching out to them to make sure that they stay safe, make sure that any needs they have, that we're able to know what those needs are.
If you're wondering how your church will continue its services, check out their social media accounts or call them up on the phone. All right, Keith. Well, we enjoyed a fairly nice day today, a lot less active than yesterday.
And we're all grateful for that.
It's
and
true.
we're going to go right from spring, it seems like, and springboard right into summer, Joey, as we mentioned. Wow, back into the 80s tomorrow, a shot at 86 here in some spots, a bit breezy. A good day to be out and about here in your backyard or so. Your full forecast is next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Several folks have reached out to me wondering if they can go ahead and plant their garden. And right now, this week actually is the average week that we get a freeze here, the last freeze of the year. But we can get freezes well into April. You certainly know that. Maybe as late as May 4th here in Tupelo. That was the record latest freeze back in 1976. So it's always a roll of dice here this time of year if you want to start the garden. But right now we don't foresee a freeze anytime soon. Just letting you know now. Also, the earliest 90-degree temperatures. Wow, we're talking about this because we're going to be flirting with some mid to upper 80s in the region, and we have seen 90s early on in the season. So it's not unprecedented with a big dome of heat building for the next few days here that we may start to see a few 90s in the region. Here in North Mississippi, maybe just a little bit too warm, but we are still expecting some mid-80s in many spots here tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, partly cloudy skies with winds from the south. So it will be a warm day. At Vernon, Durham's Pharmacy today, the clouds going away just like magic, and we have enjoyed a great afternoon. Tupelo, same story, but the clouds a little bit more persistent. We only topped out in the 60s up here. Farther south, though, we got into the 70s. Case in point, Louisville, Mississippi, 76 degrees right now. The setting sun will be fantastic. 71 now in Columbus, the high of the day, with mostly sunny skies. Down to around 50 tonight. Can't rule out a little bit of patchy fog out there with some of that moisture left over from yesterday. But overall, a quiet night. Wind is light. Tomorrow, a bit chilly, but quiet in the morning. Back into the 70s, 77 at noon, 86 or so. Winds from the south at about 10 to 20, and upper 70s early tomorrow evening. Locally, very warm across Mississippi and Alabama tomorrow. Very warm, too. 89 in Jackson, 89 Meridian, 88 Montgomery. So pretty warm here. Now, we are very quiet, warm for Thursday and Friday. All of the active weather stays back to the northwest. And for a good chunk of Saturday, too, I think we're dry, we're warm, we're breezy. We may see a few showers around with some cloud cover, but we'll have a chance for a little band of storms that will come on into the picture late in the day into the evening hours. With that, we may see some localized severe weather perhaps, and that would come in the form of some wind and hail if we were to get it. That's the way it's looking right now. Not necessarily a tornado threat like what we had yesterday, of course. We will keep watching things as they evolve, so stay tuned for that. Temperatures in the 80s Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Very warm, very summer-like. Lows in the 60s after tonight. There's a chance for storms on Saturday. Sunday is looking very good, too. 74 degrees, a mix of sun and clouds. A little bit more unsettled as we get into early next week.
Some area educators get creative to stay in touch with their students. We take a look when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. You can keep the children away from school, but you can't keep school away from the children. Dozens of teachers and administrators from the Aberdeen School District stopped traffic as they paraded through city streets today. Their message was a simple one: we miss you. Organizers say they wanted a creative way to stay in touch with their students while school is not in session. Many of the teachers hung banners from their car doors with encouraging messages like "keep reading" and "see you soon."
We just want to let the students know that we miss them, and that we love them, and that we are thinking about them.
We can all come together during a time like this, and that they'll know that the teachers and the administrators are all thinking about them, and that we're praying that everyone stays well, and hopefully we see everybody soon.
Well, the gorgeous weather today prompted some who are stuck home to go out for walks, but the last couple of days there's been a very fun game, pardon the pun, for everyone to join in on. Our Scott Martin joins us live in the studio to tell us all about it. Scott?
Yeah, Joe, you'll have to go out there and check it out tomorrow because it's pretty fun. At least it was for me this afternoon. People living in Columbus' South Side, they're putting up bears in their windows. Now, don't worry, they're not real, just stuffed animals, but they're pretty cute. Now, it's not clear exactly how this all started, but I did get the chance to see one girl who was out there. She said she saw it on social media and just thought it would be a fun idea. And it wasn't too long before others in her neighborhood started to pick it up. Now, if you take an afternoon walk or a morning walk, just count how many bears that you see in each window or on the porches. I think I spotted about 6, maybe 7. And in Choctaw County, area teens they're making sure that those in the nursing home have a few visitors. These pictures were sent to us by Michelle Lowe. Signs were made and taken to the Choctaw nursing home just to add a little cheer and a smile to all those faces in the facility. Now, we love seeing things like this to end our day on a good note and to make us smile. If you see something good, just send it over our way to news@WCBI.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
Summer coming on back for your Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Temperatures well into the 80s, lows in the 60s. Dry Thursday, Friday. A chance for some stronger storms late Saturday and the Saturday night. Sunday's looking pretty good. A bit unsettled next week, Joey, but you know what? I think many folks are excited. Ooh, where do I turn? Where do I turn? I'm turning this way. I'm jumping the gun here. Sorry.
This
just,
one.
Just like Mother Nature's jumping the gun with the temperatures. I'm not
I was
looking at the
going
right
to
camera.
say, it's hard not to get spring fever with those kind of temps.
I tell you what, it's going to have to find a cool place to be. Maybe you turn the air conditioner on for the first time.
Oh, man.
I know, right?
We're getting started early. But,
we are, too early.
Good thing is, it's nice weather while many folks are at home. So
And no storms.
There you go. All right, thanks.